This video explains how the American economy was established, how it is managed, and who benefits from today's decision-making mechanisms based on official data. You will see who was rescued during crises, which expenditures were made for what purposes, and how much elected leaders actually control the economy. By the end of the video, we will explore the question: does this system work for the people, or does it exist only to maintain its own continuity? The American economy did not start strong. In the late 18th century, after gaining independence, the U.S. survived on war debts and international loans. While gaining independence from Britain, countries like France and the Netherlands provided financial and military support during the war. This debt-based structure laid the foundation for the economy, and debt management played a critical role at the start of American state tradition. Throughout the 19th century, the economy was based on agriculture and small-scale industry. The banking system was fragmented, and there was no central authority. However, the establishment of the Federal Reserve System in 1913 transformed the economy into a more centralized and controlled system. With the Fed, the money supply, interest rates, and credit policies began to be managed by a central institution. Its board of governors is appointed by the government, but the system is intertwined with private banks. Thus, decisions are not only public, but consider the entire financial system. The Great Depression of 1929 clearly revealed the limits of this structure. The stock market collapse caused millions of people to lose their jobs and homes. However, banks and financial institutions at the system's core were rescued. These interventions demonstrate that during crises, the American economy first protects those at its center. During and after World War II, the U.S. rapidly expanded its industrial capacity. Aid to Europe through the Marshall Plan increased American export and production power. During this period, the economy was managed both for domestic welfare and global strategic interests. In the 1970s and 1980s, oil crises and stagflation forced the Fed to coordinate monetary policy with fiscal policy. Central decision-making mechanisms were activated to balance interest rates, inflation, and unemployment. The 2008 financial crisis showed that the system is still debt-based today and that central institutions' interventions are critical. Lehman Brothers collapsed. The Fed injected trillions of dollars into the market. Millions of people lost jobs and homes, while the rescued were concentrated at the top. This is documented in official Fed and Treasury reports. A similar pattern occurred during the 2020 pandemic crisis. The Fed injected trillions into the markets, and stock prices hit record highs. However, this growth did not benefit the general public. The gains were concentrated among those with financial assets. These figures indicate that rising asset prices increase inequality. The U.S. Treasury securities market is one of the most important tools of the American economy. Government bonds are considered a global safe haven. Japan and the United Kingdom are among the largest holders. This directly affects U.S. monetary policy. If foreign demand decreases, interest rates rise and the economy slows. U.S. Treasury reports 2025. U.S. defense spending is one of the largest items in the federal budget each year. In 2025, this budget was approximately $962 billion, covering a large portion of global military spending. However, annual arms exports are around $117 billion. This difference shows that defense spending is determined not only by sales revenue, but also by strategic priorities and system continuity. Presidents are elected by the public, but they do not have unlimited control over the economy. The Fed is independent and determines monetary policy. Fiscal policy is set by the government, but is shaped by the Fed's decisions. Therefore, economic decisions are mostly taken for the system's continuity and financial stability, while individual welfare is secondary. Energy and foreign policy lie at the center of economic decisions. Changes in oil and energy prices affect inflation and production costs. Therefore, American foreign policy and economic strategies cannot be separated. Today, the American economy faces strong competitors: China, European Union countries, and several Asian economies. Global competition is not limited to trade. Reserve currencies, investment flows, and debt policies are also part of this competition. The American economy prioritizes protecting those at its center during crises. Public welfare is not guaranteed to the same degree as system continuity. Elected leaders operate within the boundaries of this system and often do not directly target individual welfare. Does this system serve the people, or is it established only to maintain economic stability and global power balances? If those at the system's center are the first to be rescued in crises, do elected leaders truly manage the economy, or are they only there to maintain the system's continuity? The discussion ends with this question, inviting viewers to examine official data and form their own conclusions.